Welcome to all the guests and for the collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR for the launching of Sri Aurobindo Studies. We'll first have meditation with music.
Without the music, I think.
I would like to now invite Deepshika for giving the invocation.
चराचरे विहारिणी समस्तलोकशङ्करीं चिदम्बरात्मनिर्झरीं दिवङ्करीं शिवङ्करीं नमामि मातृदेवतां वराभयप्रदायिनीम् अभाव्यभाव्यभायिनीं प्रसादनप्रदायिनीं नमामि मातृदेवताम् अनन्तरूपधारिणी चराचरे विहारिणी स्मितै सदात्महारिणी नमामि मातृदेवतां नमामि मातृदेवतां नमामि मातृदेवताम्.
I request now Dr. Lata Pillai, Pro Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, to welcome the guests.
On behalf of Indira Gandhi National Open University and SACAR, it is indeed a privilege to welcome the dignitaries and invitees present here today for the launch of the program on Sri Aurobindo Studies. The coming together of two institutions, IGNOU and SACAR, to leverage their domain expertise and technological capabilities is yet another milestone in our pursuit of academic reach and excellence. On this occasion, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Karan Singh, a distinguished statesman who needs no introduction to this audience, an erudite scholar, and most importantly, a compassionate human being. He's been associated with the Sri Aurobindo Ashram activities and with our expert group meetings during the past few months and has now helped us in the launch of this particular program. We are also happy to welcome Dr. Kirit Joshi, former chairperson of the Indian Council for Philosophical Research, known for his contributions to philosophy and particularly on value-based education. A warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of IGNOU. We have in our midst invitees from the Aurobindo Ashram, members of the faculty of IGNOU, representatives of the print and electronic media, and other distinguished invitees. A warm welcome to all of you on behalf of IGNOU. May I now request the Vice Chancellor to welcome Dr. Karan Singh and Dr. Kirit Joshi with a bouquet of flowers, please.
We are really honored, sir.
Sure, of course.
May I request Belu to come forward and give the bouquet to Professor Rajshekhar Pillai, please. On behalf of SACAR. On behalf of SACAR, I would like to say a few words. India has been a privileged country where many women and men of God were born taking her glory from age to age. But one of the rarest gifts of God to India and the world has been Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo, out of his compassion to the seeking youngsters, seems to have consented to walk in the corridors of a university, the Indira Gandhi National Open University. Sri Aurobindo is increasingly catching the deeper quest of forward-looking thinkers. His vision and yoga have come as a solution and a hope to many desperate hearts, bringing them higher spiritual values that go beyond the conflicts of religion, caste, creed, and nationality. The awakened world seems to be eager to listen to the word of Sri Aurobindo, for he has the word to transform the world. IGNOU has the unique privilege of inviting Sri Aurobindo into its academia and to spread Sri Aurobindo's vision of the transformation of life and society, not only to the Indian nation, but to countries beyond. IGNOU has, by opening this program, Sri Aurobindo Studies, taken a very bold step towards a future that would bring it laurels of fame. Not a fame that could be measured in terms of monetary success, not a fame that could be compared with any other collaboration that IGNOU has initiated. This collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR promises to bring a fame to both the institutions that would overshadow all others, because it would be a fame radiant with the hues of the future consciousness, the supramental consciousness and force. For converting this unique collaboration into a reality, two persons shall always be remembered in the annals of IGNOU. They are Dr. Karan Singh Ji and Professor V.N. Rajshekhan Pillai, the Vice Chancellor of IGNOU. Dr. Singh's empathy towards Sri Aurobindo Centre for Advanced Research, his encouragement in its growth, and the fulfillment of its dreams is beyond the scope of my description. He is a close friend of my late father, Professor V. Madhusudan Reddy, who, if he were alive now, would have expressed his deep gratitude to Dr. Singh in overwhelming words. Dr. Singh is a friend of all those who dream of doing Sri Aurobindo's work in the world, be it at SACAR or at Auroville or any other part of the world. I thank him profusely for making SACAR's dream SACAR. Professor V.N. Rajshekhan Pillai, the Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, is a man with a mission and a vision of uniting India through knowledge, a mission of opening wide the doors of IGNOU to all human efforts in the acquisition of knowledge, be it materialistic or spiritual. A man dynamic outwardly and at the same time well poised within. A rare combination in the arena of academic administration. It is indeed his initiative that has made this collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR a certainty. With his zeal to back up and the efficient and meticulous help of his colleagues working with him, Dr. Lata Pillai, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. C.J. Naidu, Director of New Schools, K. Lakshman, the Registrar, a memorandum of understanding has been drawn up between IGNOU and SACAR that gives both the institutions a status of equal friends, collaborating with sufficient space and freedom so that both can maintain their own identity in their respective policies and functions. SACAR, an infant institution with the motto of In Search and Research, is a unique academic center in India dedicated to research at all the academic levels in the light of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. It would like to connect all its research to contextual reality that is pervading the world of today, and thus make Sri Aurobindo's vision a part of daily existence for all those struggling to find new modes of expression based on an inner experience. Its aim is not only to attract academic scholars, but also to open new vistas to those seekers, bringing them a new vision, a new meaning to life, a new hope that is Sri Aurobindo. SACAR wants to be the advanced research center where spiritual quest would be the basis of all academic thirst for knowledge. In this pursuit of academic spiritual experience, IGNOU would be our partner in providing the national and international platform to disseminate Sri Aurobindo's vision of life and society, of the role of nations and the future of internationalism, of man and his next evolutionary future. We at SACAR are highly appreciative of IGNOU's initiative and invitation to this collaboration. Together, we hope to contribute to the academic world a new wave of thought, the Aurobindonian thought wave. I dedicate this celebration of our collaboration between SACAR and IGNOU, a victorious moment for all those working for the dissemination of Sri Aurobindo's vision, to Sri Aurobindo on his 136th birth anniversary, and to the nation on the 61st anniversary of her rebirth. Now may I request Professor V.N. Rajshekharan Pillai, Vice Chancellor IGNOU, to give his presidential remarks.
Honorable Dr. Karan Singh, Dr. Kirit Joshi, Professor Anand Reddy, Dr. Lata Pillai, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sharath Joshi, my colleagues from the university, members from the SACAR, other distinguished invitees, members from the press, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate the SACAR and the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies of the university for launching this very important program. Indira Gandhi National Open University is proud to launch this academic discipline of Sri Aurobindo Studies in this newly established School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies today, the 15th of August 2008, the 61st Independence Day of the country, which is also the 136th birth anniversary day of Sri Aurobindo. I appreciate the efforts of Professor Anand Reddy and his colleagues from Sri Aurobindo Centre for Advanced Research Trust in collaborating with IGNOU for the development of the various programs starting from certificate level to PhD level in the domain of Aurobindo philosophy and vision. Launching of these programs is a positive response to the need of dissemination of the relevance of the integral philosophy and vision of Sri Aurobindo for younger generations who are seeking solutions to the complex problems of today. We see that there is a need for introducing this thought in the mainstream of higher education. This new academic discipline will be promoting in-depth study and research into the philosophic and yogic vision and experience of Sri Aurobindo and relate it to the present and future of India in particular and the world in general. Study of all allied thoughts and perspectives from other thinkers and visionaries from different cultures will also be taken up. The courses will offer the learners a composite view of the future of the mankind and the universe. Studies on areas such as metaphysics and philosophy, integral yoga psychology, social and political thought, vision of spiritual poetry, literature and literary criticism, education, Indian culture and Indian scriptures in the light of Sri Aurobindo's unique integral approach will also be taken up. Sri Aurobindo has dreamt of a revolutionary movement which would create a free and united India. Sri Aurobindo's speech on 15th August 1947, which was his 75th birthday, is of special relevance and importance even today for the political, social, cultural and spiritual future of the humanity. Sri Aurobindo has also predicted the resurgence and liberation of the peoples of Asia and their return to a greater role in the progress of human civilization. His third dream was a world union forming the outer basis of a fairer, brighter and nobler life for all mankind. His dream about the spiritual gift of India to the world has already begun and getting more and more realized. The final dream, which Sri Aurobindo narrates in his independence speech in 1947, was a step in evolution which would raise man to a higher and larger consciousness. I am happy that the Indira Gandhi National Open University and SACAR has joined in this venture to offer various programs. I conclude my presidential remarks from the speech of Sri Aurobindo on the Independence Day on 1947. I quote, "There are times in a nation's history when providence places before it one work, one aim to which everything else, however high and noble in itself, has to be sacrificed. Such a time has now arrived for our motherland, when nothing is dearer than her service, when everything else is to be directed to that end. If you will study, study for her sake. Train yourself body and mind and soul for her sake. You will go abroad to foreign lands that you may bring back knowledge with which you may do service to her. Work that she may prosper. Suffer that she may rejoice. All is contained in that one single advice." Unquote. I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. Karan Singh for giving us the leadership, the right kind of leadership for launching all these activities. I am also thankful to Dr. Kirit Joshi for accepting our invitation to participate in this very important activity. My congratulations and best wishes to my colleagues, and a happy Independence Day to all of you. Thank you very much.
Now may I request my very venerated teacher, Kirit Bhai, to really give his special message for this occasion.
Professor Pillai, Dr. Karan Singh ji, and friends. The only proposition that I would like to place before everyone today is to remind ourselves the one basic aim that Mother has put forward. Education should not be for seeking certificates and passing examinations. I would very much like to underline this basic point in launching upon this program. This can be best done if your examination system itself prevents passing examinations. So this is the challenge that I would like to place before my very dear Anand, who has been my student and my colleague for many, many years, since he was a young boy. And in fact, not many people know that I was the founder of this university in many ways. I made a selection of this spot personally, coming to villagers to give this land for this university. I went to Thailand to see the model university for Open University, just to establish this university. I drafted the entire bill of this university, and I invited Rajiv Gandhi to inaugurate this university. And Professor Dr. K.C. Pant was at that time the minister, and it was actually very much promoted by Narsim Rao ji. And at that time, I had the privilege of receiving all of them as guests of this university on behalf of this university. At that time, I had wished that this university will open out to students a great and facilitating means by which they will study for the sake of studies and not for passing examinations. And I believe that your program will underline this important point. Thank you.
So thank you, Joshubai. Well, I remember my old teacher who really used to give me advice, give me the direction in life. And one day I remember he had told me, Anand, it's one of my dreams to have 100 scholars in Sri Aurobindo. And I said, Kirit Bhai, one day it will happen. So this program which you have seen proposes to launch and achieve those 100 scholars in the right sense, not as Joshubai is stating, just getting a PhD degree. But Joshubai, I promise you, in front of the VC and the PVC and the other dignitaries, that will be our aim, to have the true scholars in Sri Aurobindo, and thus fulfill one of your dreams too. Thank you so much, Kirit Bhai. Now may I invite Dr. Karan Singh ji, Member Parliament Rajya Sabha, to give his keynote address and to guide us further on this program.
Professor V.N. Rajashekharan Pillai, my dear friend and colleague Kirit Bhai Joshi, Lata Pillai, Anand Reddy, whose tireless striving towards perfection has finally brought this day before us, and members of the audience either here or around the world. First of all, this is Independence Day. I would like to convey my very warm greetings to all of you, and through you to the people of India and to people of Indian origin around the world. It is a day of rejoicing, but it is also a day of introspection. There is a lot happening in India that is very hopeful and very positive. But there is also a lot of negativity, a lot of conflict, a lot of violence. And therefore, when these days come, they are not simply days for celebration. I think they are days for introspection. And I think that today particularly, the nation, with all its progress, is passing through a difficult time. And therefore, I would urge each one of us in our own way should look within and see what it is that we can do to help the situation and to try and build the India dreamt of by Sri Aurobindo and other great leaders of the freedom movement. Today also happens to be Sri Aurobindo's birthday, and this synchronicity, as he has himself remarked, puts a seal of divine approval, as it were, upon the life work of this extraordinary person. One often wonders, Mr. Chairman, how it is that despite the fact that India has gone through so much suffering, so many invasions, so many holocausts, so many terrible destructions for the last many thousand years, how is it that Indian culture continues to survive? Not only to survive, but to flourish and to bring out new gems. I think the reason is twofold. Firstly, because our philosophy is based firmly upon some irrefutable and immutable truths as articulated in the Upanishads. There are certain fundamental principles. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, the wise call it by many names. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe tishtati. The Lord resides in the heart of all beings. Vasudheva kutumbakam. The world is a family. Kurvannivihi karmani jijiti fet shatam samaha. Evam tvai nanyathe tosti na karmalipyate nare. The importance of work, of dedicated work. So we have these great verities, these great truths which support, as it were, our whole civilizational structure. And then we have produced from age to age and from time to time great men and women who, through dint of their sadhana, their tapasya, their wisdom, their knowledge, have been able to restate and re-articulate these eternal principles in the light of changing times. Always remember that a Shastra which is not significant today is simply good enough for research and for scholars. It has no real meaning. To have real meaning, any teaching must help us to meet the problems that we face today. And among this whole galaxy of people we produced, and I can mention people all the way down from Adi Shankara down to the present day, Sri Aurobindo is a unique personality. His early life, as you know, was as a revolutionary. He was educated in England. From the age of 7 to the age of 21, he was educated entirely in England. A brilliant scholar in Latin, in Greek, in English. He came back in 1983 into Baroda. That was his Karma Kshetra first, where he was a teacher, but there he began his yogic sadhana and began delving into Indian culture. Then with the Banga Bhanga in 1905, he left Baroda and leapt into the freedom movement. And he shone like a meteor in the star. If you read the history of that period, there were great figures. There was Lala Lajpat Rai, there was Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, there was Bipin Chandra Pal, there were other great people. But Sri Aurobindo shone like a meteor. His essays, his editorials in the Karma Yogin and the Bande Mataram, even today, if you read them, your blood runs faster in your veins. And he became, as it were, the spiritual leader of that period. Then he had this great transformation, and in 1910 he left political life, Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitha, moved to Chandranagar, then to Pondicherry. And for 40 years in Pondicherry, from 1910 to 1950, he pursued his unique yoga. Now, in the course of all of this, he has produced the most astounding works. The corpus of his works, whether it is the human cycle, the ideal of human unity, the essays on the Gita, the life divine, or the great poem Savitri, all of these taken together, the synthesis of yoga, they represent a repository of tremendous wisdom and knowledge, probably unrivaled in recent times. And if you add to that his letters, his poems, his messages and so on, it is an astounding treasure that we have. And this treasure has, to my mind, been largely unexplored by the general academic community in the country. The Aurobindonians certainly have been studying it, the Sri Aurobindo Ashram people, or those who follow Sri Aurobindo's teachings. But for the general public, somehow his spiritual luster has been so strong that it has overwhelmed the fact that he had a great deal of importance to say on matters in which we are all involved now, on pluralism, on religion, on multiculturalism, on so many aspects of sociology, of socioanthropology, and his broad spectrum, his broad sweep of his mind illuminated every single topic upon which he spoke. Whatever topic you take up, whether it is the study of history or the study of philosophy, or whether it is the whole impact of the West and how India should respond, he has tremendous wisdom. And therefore, I have always felt that Sri Aurobindo has never received the sort of attention that a thinker like that deserves. For example, Karl Marx in the West was a massive thinker. You don't have to be a Marxist in order to study Karl Marx, because his work is significant, whether you agree with him or not. Similarly, you do not have to be an Aurobindonian to study Sri Aurobindo. I think this is very important, because many people, may not look upon themselves as Aurobindonians, but that doesn't mean that we should be deprived of the wisdom that Sri Aurobindo has given. And that is where I would like very warmly to congratulate Anand Reddy with his SACAR and Professor Rajshekharan Pillai with IGNOU for having brought about this Sangama, as it was the Ganga of IGNOU and the Yamuna of SACAR have met together in this Sangam. And the Adrishya Saraswati, the invisible Saraswati, hopefully is the new knowledge, the new wisdom that will now emerge from this Sangam. and that will be broadcast far and wide. I do not entirely share my friend Kirit Joshi's aversion to examinations, having passed a lot of them myself with very good marks. But I do agree that examinations by themselves should not be the end-all and be-all of education, because the modular system that Anand is now has worked on so meticulously, and I've gone through, Kirit Bhai, you should really go through the work that he's done. We presented it when he came here a few weeks ago. He's got modular things. You can do a certificate course, you can then do a graduate course, you can do special courses, you can do certifications and so on. And equivalence is also important. Whether we like it or not, equivalence is important. Because for people who study, many people may study simply Swanta Sukhaya for their own enlightenment, but many people would also like to get some credit for their studies, which they can then perhaps use in their academic careers. So what is now happening, as I understand it, is that the IGNOU, which is a unique institution and which has done extremely well, which has really broken the old traditional methodologies of learning and has really brought in the new technologies so as to spread the message far and wide. IGNOU is now going to, in its new School of Interdisciplinary Studies, has started with Sri Aurobindo Studies. And there's no one better to start with. Sri Aurobindo essentially was an integral thinker. And that's what interdisciplinary studies are all about. Integral thinking. Not departmental, compartmental thinking, but integral thinking. And that is what an interdisciplinary study does. It looks at a problem from many different points of view and looks at many disciplines together to see where they overlap, where they can act, where their symbiotic relationship can be developed. And so I think what we are doing today is really something significant. It's significant in the sense that it is the first time that Sri Aurobindo has been taken out of the exclusive domain of the Aurobindonians and brought into the wider domain of our intellectual life in the nation. That, to my mind, is the real significance of this. And this has not been easy. It has involved years of research and study by Anand, and he approached me and we had one or two false starts. Ultimately, I suggested that IGNOU is really the place where you should do this. Why go to one of the normal universities, because they're all stuck in their structures, whereas IGNOU by its very definition is an open university. And an open university involves the capacity to develop new modules, new methodologies, new academic programs which can be really linked and interlinked with other studies. And so I will really, I would like very warmly to congratulate you, Professor Pillai, and to congratulate you, Anand. You have somebody like Kirit Bhai, who's probably the greatest living scholar now on Sri Aurobindo with the passing away of K.R.C. Navas Iyengar, and all of you there. I don't know whether I should end with my favorite poem or whether I should not, because it's being broadcast far and wide. So I think that this is what I wanted to say. And Sri Aurobindo also was a poet. He was a remarkable poet. I'm not talking of Savitri, which quite frankly I find formidable. I have not really been able to screw up the courage to actually read through the whole thing. It's a great work. It's an epic work. I prefer his shorter poems. I think he's more accessible through his shorter poems. And one of his most beautiful shorter poems is called Who. And that, if you agree, Mr. President, I could recite today as we are here in this very positive atmosphere. The poem is called Who. In the blue of the sky and the green of the forests, whose is the hand that has painted the glow? When the winds were asleep in the womb of the ether, who was it roused them and bade them to blow? He is lost in the heart in the cavern of nature. He is found in the brain where he builds up the thought. In the pattern and bloom of the flowers he is woven. In the luminous net of the stars he is caught. In the strength of a man, in the beauty of woman, in the laugh of a boy, in the blush of a girl, the hand that sent Jupiter spinning through heaven spends all its cunning to fashion a curl. These are his works and his ways and his shadows. But where is he then? By what name is he known? Is he Brahma or Vishnu, a man or a woman, bodied or bodiless, twin or alone? We have love for a boy who is dark and resplendent. A woman is lord of us, naked and fierce. We have seen him amuse on the snows of the mountain. We have watched him at work in the heart of the spheres. We will tell the whole world of his ways and his cunning. He has rapture of torture and passion and pain. He delights in our sorrow and drives us to weeping, then lures with his joy and his beauty again. All music is only the sound of his laughter. All beauty, the smile of his passionate bliss. Our lives are his heartbeats. Our rapture, the bridal of Radha and Krishna. Our love is their kiss. He is strength that is loud in the blare of the trumpets. And he rides in the car and he strikes in the spears. He slays without stint and is full of compassion. He wars for the world in its ultimate years. In the sweep of the worlds, in the surge of the ages, ineffable, mighty, majestic and pure, beyond the last pinnacle seized by the thinker, he is throned in his seats that forever endure. The master of man and his infinite lover, he is close to our hearts had we vision to see. We are blind with our pride and the pomp of our passions. We are bound in our thoughts where we hold ourselves free. It is he in the sun who is ageless and deathless, and into the midnight his shadow is thrown. When darkness was blind and engulfed within darkness, he was seated within it, immense and alone.
Karan Singh ji, may I now request you to launch the program literally on the computer here.
Okay, what do I do?
You just have to switch
Just
a point,
click.
nothing else.
Okay, certainly.
Yeah, you just click here. Right. Sure. This one, right click here. This one. Yeah. 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 Once again, ignore properly. Yeah. Press that. Yeah. Now that the program is launched, I think we have a lot of work in front of us. As Karan Singh ji told us, there are new ways that we can explore. And first time when I met Professor Rashekhan Pillai, he told me that they had just started the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary School, and there he said Aurobindo would fit in perfectly. And that is how I was tremendously encouraged that what a vast vision he has. And then lo and behold, the first person to come into this school is Aurobindo Study itself. Because really Aurobindo needs this kind of a flexibility. And as Karan Singh ji just now told us, this integral vision to studies. Because it is very difficult to break up Aurobindo into different departments. And that's why perhaps Karan Singh ji had the vision to tell me 5 years back, you approach IGNOU. But time has taken its own ways, and today we are here. And I'm very, very happy and grateful to Karan Singh ji for his guidance and for Rashekhan Pillai ji for his enthusiasm and encouragement. And now, I take this occasion to really thank all the expert committee members who have been with me through the struggle, and all others who have encouraged me towards this moment of great joy for all of us. Now may I request Professor Sharad M. Joshi, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Maharaja Sayajirao University, Baroda, to give his own understanding and vision of the program, as well as to give a vote of thanks.
Honorable Dr. Karan Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, Dr. Rajashekhar Pillai, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Mrs. Lata Pillai, Professor Kirit Joshi, Dr. Anand Reddy, and colleagues from SACAR, members of the expert and advisory group, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are meeting here today on an auspicious occasion and a day of double significance. Independent India's 61st birthday anniversary and Sri Aurobindo's 106th birth anniversary, 136th birth anniversary, to participate in a significant ceremony of launching of the Sri Aurobindo Studies at IGNOU, a mark of collaboration between SACAR and IGNOU. If we describe Sri Aurobindo, we say that he is really a harbinger of a new age. If you want to understand this significance of Sri Aurobindo as a initiator of a new age, we have to look back to the history, especially the spiritual history of India, in the light of Sri Aurobindo's literature. If we describe the Vedic age, starting from Veda and Upanishad and Gita, and the Middle Ages of Bhaktas, and the concluding of Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, we can describe this age as an age of intuition, where the formulation of spiritual knowledge was gathered together in the realm of intuition. Then it percolated through the various instruments of humanity, through mind, heart, vital and physical, and ultimately it was synthesized in the life of Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, who summarized the whole knowledge of intuition and established it on the world, on the physical plane. Now Sri Aurobindo has come, and he is the harbinger of a new age, the supramental age, where he moves on to a higher plane of existence called supermind, and tries to bring down this into the planes again of mind, heart and body and things, transforming the entire instrument of humanity and bringing out a new age. From this point of view, Sri Aurobindo belongs to the future, and he is the harbinger of a new age. Today is his birthday, and on this birthday, SACAR and IGNOU is launching a significant program under interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary center, and launching the program of Sri Aurobindo Studies and offering various courses to the larger public. This has a significance because we need to keep alive in these days on age of confusion the spirit that Sri Aurobindo saw in a vision, that this force has to be kept alive for the future of humanity. And this is being done as a collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR. On this occasion, I am given a pleasant task of offering my thanksgiving to the audience and to the dignitaries on the dais. First of all, I must express my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Karan Singh, who has, in spite of his busy schedule, has blessed and inspired this occasion of collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR. I must also thank profusely Dr. Rajasekhar Pillai, whose dynamic leadership has made this possible. We were there in the last month only, and within a month he saw it through the various stages of realization. And today, on the very auspicious occasion of Sri Aurobindo's birthday, we have been able to launch this program, and that credit goes to Dr. Rajasekhar Pillai and his colleagues from IGNOU, who have untiringly made all the efforts with utmost perfection to see that it is launched on the birthday of Sri Aurobindo. I must thank Sri Kirit Joshi, who has been a stalwart in the literature of Sri Aurobindo, to have made it possible at his very ripe age, very advanced age, to become present and bless this occasion of launching this program. I must thank Lata Pillai, Dr. Naidu, and the registrar of IGNOU, who have made this perfection possible and arranged things on a national holiday where people would not like to come, but they have made it possible, and with such a perfection they have done it. So they must be thanked profusely. I must thank the Electronic Media and Production Center of this National Open University, Indira Gandhi National Open University, who have, in spite of this national holiday, been present here and untiringly made this various arrangement and to an utmost perfection, and with a divine atmosphere they have created this program and launched it, and I must thank them profusely. I must also thank all the students who are going to be registered in this new program and will challenge them to see that Sri Aurobindo is not very easy to understand, but with the kind of program that has been launched as a part of collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR, I think it has been made easy and palatable, and all the programs will be offered online as well as with the distance learning mode. So they are required to study them and imbibe them in their life so that a kind of force, a living force can be made alive in the life of the people to come. I must thank the audience here in this room as well as online who are watching this program to be present in this very significant occasion. I would end my thanksgiving by few lines from Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, which is very much applied to, it is written in terms of, with reference to Ashwapati, but is applied, it is very significant for his own life. In the book 1 of Savitri, the book of beginning, in the 3rd canto, the Ashwapati's Yoga, he has written, "His was a spirit that stooped from larger spheres into our province of ephemeral sight, a colonist from immortality, a pointing beam on earth's uncertain roads. His birth held up a symbol and a sign. His human self, like a translucent cloak, covered the all-wise who leads the unseeing world. Affiliated to cosmic space and time, and paying here God's debt to earth and men, a greater sonship was his divine right. Although consenting to mortal ignorance, his knowledge shared the light ineffable." Again, I extend a very warm welcome on this and greetings on this auspicious occasion of Sri Aurobindo's birthday and India's Independence Day, and on the very significant occasion of launching of the collaboration between IGNOU and SACAR. Thank you very much.
On the back. You dated that due to Maharaja Saiji Rao.